Alright, in this video we are going to see how to create this border animation using HTML and CSS. To follow along, I have left the source code in the description. Just download it and start along with me. Now, if I hover it, you'll see the image gets the opacity 0 and the background div gets the focus. Fine. Now, this is what you'll get once you download the source code. Let us start from scratch. We need to create two files. The first one is index. The HTML file, the .html is important because it's the extension for HTML. I'm going to give the name as index2. You can give any name. I'm sticking to index2. The same way for the style sheet .css is important. You can give any name. I'm preferring style2. Now let's link the style sheet to the HTML. Style2.css, and for the HTML it's very simple. We need a container. Inside the container we'll have a box, and inside the box we have two children. The first one is image and the second one is content. Let me just copy paste it. Now I'm going to use the Google font pop-ins. To save time, I'm just copy pasting it from the created CSS, and for all element I have given the pop-ins font. Now this is how our HTML looks like, index2.html. Now let us write the CSS rule. Inside the body we have container. Inside the container we have box. Inside the box we have image, and the second child is content, and inside the content we have h1, and whatever is there inside. So let's just define the width and height. So the image container is box. Let's give a width of 300 pixel and height of 400 pixel, and the image will also get the same height, so I'll use the height of 100% and a width of 100%. So whenever you give height and width, the container's height and width will be applied. In this case the box is the container and this is the height and width. So let me just save this, and you feel it is stretched. So for that we have a CSS property, object cover. Cool. Now I want this image, I want whatever is there inside the body to be at the center. So display flex align items center will vertically align content to the center, and justify content center will horizontally align. So in order for the align item to work, we need to give height of 100% of viewport height. Now let me just give the background color grayish, so #777 would work. Now I want to give padding to the container as 1 rem. So just to show you, let me just give the background color as white as a representation, and let me just display none this image as of now. Whatever is there inside the content I want to be at the center. So inside the content we have h1, so we'll use the same trick. So now it will be at the center instead of it's just 100%. So if it is 100%, it should take the container's height and width. Cool. And if you want, you can give the font size as 2 rem, 3 rem. Let me just see what is the problem that we are doing. Inside the content we have h3, the box, then content, then h3, box, content, then h3, and for the content let me just give the background color #333, and the color of the h1, let this be white. Cool. Now when I hover on the box, when I hover on the container, the image inside the container should get opacity 0. So let me remove the display none. So if I hover it, you'll see it is getting the opacity 0 but in a quick way. So just to add transition, we can have transition 0.5 second. Cool. But the thing is, you want this UI monk overlapping the container. So whenever you are going to use position relative, the container of the position absolute should have position relative. So in this case, the content is going to have position absolute. So the contents container is box, or we can give it to the box. Now we can give position absolute. So now you will see it will be overlapping. Top 0. So in top 0, left 0, bottom 0, and right 0. Instead of this, we can simply call everything and give inset as 0. Top right, bottom right, both of them would work. Now in this case, I want to give all the sides as 20 pixel. Now you got it. Now if you see, the height 100% is causing the problem. We can give height 95%. Now you see it feels to be at the center, and I want this to go behind the image. So since we are using position absolute, we can use z index -1. So when I hover it, let me just check where our content is going. Okay, if I make this hidden, the container transparent, then you will see the proper way. Cool, that seems to be working. Now let me just give background color and give, let's z index -2. Something's wrong. As of now, let's just skip this and let's just hide this. And now you see, let's give the box the same color. Let's just see where our content is. It is still there. Instead of -1, let's just try 1. Let's just make this little dull. There is some problem. So when I hover on the box, this is getting opacity, and this content we should see the content. And everything seems to be working fine. Instead of make this 20, let's just try making 0 so that it will cover the whole, and that's working. Let's just make this 100%. Cool. Now we don't have to give color to content. Now let's just let that be -1. Now we can shift the color to the content, not on the box. Cool. Now if you still remember, the padding is still applicable for the container, so the padding is still there. Now we can play with the pseudo element for the box. Whenever you write pseudo element, this property is must, or else it won't work. Position absolute, so we need to give position relative to the box, it's already there. So inset top and bottom 80 pixel minus 80 pixels, so that it extends outside of the container. Then 100 left and right 100 pixel, then background red. So now you see it is overlapping. You can give minus z index -1. Now if you see, we can make this rotate with the help of animation name. One is speed, this is duration, and this is speed, and then infinite amount of time it should work. It should do animation. To define @keyframes, animation name on 0 time frame, transform, rotate, starting from 0 degree, it should end on 360 degree. Now just make the container overflow hidden. You'll get your animation. If you want, you can add padding to the box. Let's just try. Cool. And again we have two pseudo element. We can use after as well, and in this case let's just animate the after with a delay of 2 seconds, just 2s. Don't forget to give z index -1 again, -2, cool. Now if you want, you can give linear gradient, just copy paste linear gradient to our CSS. Cool. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening. And so it also works.